everyone and welcome to the video. Today we're discussing whether it's safe to dismiss someone under 2 years service. This is a continuation from a conversation that Andrew, my ex-colleague, and I had. Andrew provides the outsourced HR service, which you can access through the link in my bio or in the description box below if you want to get in contact with that. Is it always safe to dismiss an employee with less than 2 years service?
Okay, well, the first point to note is obviously with the new Employment Rights Act coming in probably end of next year.
Yeah.
As of next year, the whole landscape is going to change in terms of employees with less than 2 years service.
Yeah.
What you're referring to is that employees who've got less than 2 years service, you don't need to give a fair reason for dismissal. Mm-hmm. So as long as you're not dismissing them because of a protected characteristic, for example, generally speaking, it's easier to dismiss them. Mm. Your question is it always safe to do so? The simple answer is no. Mm-hmm. There's a whole list of exceptions as long as you're armed. Mm. Things like if you dismiss them for being part of a union, dismiss them for if they whistleblow, dismiss them for asserting a statutory right. Mm-hmm. Again, a whole list of statutory rights. That could be deemed to be automatically unfair dismissal. So what that means is there's no qualifying period. Mm. So someone can work for you for 1 day, threaten to blow the whistle because, I don't know, you're at the end of the shift, you're dumping all your rubbish in a local river, for example. They threaten to make a protected disclosure, also known as whistleblowing. You dismiss them for it, then even though they've only been with you for a day, they're going to get that claim into the tribunal under a whistleblowing head. Okay,
so let's imagine there's no whistleblowing, there's no discrimination, there's no asserting a statutory right, anything else which takes away the 2 years service. Yeah. Let's imagine somebody needs that 2 years service currently to bring a claim for unfair dismissal. Do you see employers calculating that 2 year period correctly?
In a word, no. There's a lot of mistakes and misconceptions around this. So people refer to it as a 2 year rule. Actually, it's 103 weeks because you have to add on statutory notice, which is a week. So if you were 4 days away from someone getting 2 years service, it's already too late at that point. So that's 103 weeks that we'd look at. Now, the other thing you need to take into account is that notice takes effect on the next day. So if you give someone notice today, the first day of the notice would be tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You need to add that on. And also, let's say someone starts with you on the 2nd of July. Mm. If they do any work on the 1st of July, 2 years later, they're going to have a 2 year service at that point. So it's actually the day before their anniversary, so to speak. In reality, you're probably looking at 2 years minus about 10 or 11 days to be completely on the safe side. I'd always take advice on it if you're that close. The other mistake you see people make is around notice. So let's say somebody is 2 weeks under their 2 years service. Mm. They've got a month's notice. You dismiss them and say your last day of employment will be in a month's time. Mm-hmm. That takes them over the 2 years. So what you have to do is pay in lieu of notice. I've seen a lot of costly mistakes where they've dismissed someone under 2 years completely safely, but the notice period has taken them over the 2 years. So payment in lieu of notice is what you should be doing, and you should be expressly stating in that letter that their final day of employment was X, ideally as far before the 2 year service as you possibly can.
Okay, so in summary, is it always safe to dismiss an employee with less than 2 years service? No, that's the answer.